In my normal day-to-day life that none of you give a shit about, I'm actually a relatively level-headed person. Sure, sometimes I get angry about things that other people wouldn't mind, things like ITV, emojis, and people who misspell the word whoa. It's W-H-O-A, you utter helmet. Oh, and while I'm at it, it's pronounced H, not H. Just leave me alone. My point is that these videos may give you a slightly inaccurate portrayal of my personality. Perhaps not this particular one though, because while watching Shadowhunters, the Altogether Now Children, new Netflix original, I found myself sitting in a room on my own shouting "fuck off" at the screen on numerous occasions. In fact, at one point during the first episode I found myself pausing to shout at the screen because I believe I was frustrated by the line "please slow down, my head is literally about to explode," and like any sensible person I shouted at the collection of pixels, "it's figuratively, you failure of a human." Still, at least when I was angry I felt something. Most of the time it was just mind-numbing boredom. This show started off in an unfortunate position because I didn't enjoy the opening scene, something I'm sure was meant to be gripping, but all I noticed was that my eyes were slowly glazing over. But I did press on because I'm professional. Okay, technically not professional, but certainly awesome. After this scene, we're introduced to our protagonist, Clarity McWho-gives-a-shit, who is, and let's be fair to her, massively irritating. In fact, so are all the characters. This genre is absolutely not to my taste. I find the whole angels and demons concept about as interesting as a 5-hour lecture on the history of cement. So yes, maybe I am a little bit biased, but please, before you call me your favourite swear word, explain to me why it was necessary for the dialogue to be so bad. I can forgive pretty much everything at this point and chalk it up to my dislike of the genre, but flaming Christnips, why did the dialogue have to be that bad? No human talks like these characters ever. I don't just mean when they're talking about demons invading the realm, or emphasising the importance of the sacred ethereal teaspoon or whatever. I just mean in conversation. I once heard a piece of writing advice. A script isn't done when you've finished adding things, it's finished when you've removed unnecessary things. Had Shadowhunters followed this advice, the series would consist of the opening scene and the end credits. It seems harsh to emphasise this one point, but this affects everything from the believability of the characters to the new bruises on my head when I was banging it against a nearby wall. At this point I'd flush around my whingy brain for some positives. It was finite. The visuals were impressive. I know someone who's a fan of shows like this, and maybe I should have asked her for a different perspective. Oh, hang on, no. I couldn't have done that. Shadowhunters is a 4-syllable word, 2 more than her limit. Had it have taken itself a little bit less seriously, it might have been at least entertaining. I guess to say something balanced, I'd say it wasn't a terrible show, just a niche show with major flaws. But who wants balanced? So I'll sign off by saying the show was as appealing as Michael Gove's buttock crevice and not nearly as artistic.